Hello, welcome. Good to hear. 8:53 news just in, record breaking 10,000 BTC sell order filled on OKX.
Okay, let me see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Sorry, everyone. You probably missed half the show. Welcome once again to the Flipping Spuds. And
Hi PCA or Esports Community Australia / all decked out.
all decked out. Exactly. Yeah, amateur hour, everyone. And yeah, sorry, everyone. Unfortunately, every week something slightly goes wrong and the setup changes and OBS doesn't keep up with it and it all goes to
and
poop.
we and, and we
Um,
we don't keep up with OBS either.
no, no, sadly not. So, anyway, fixed. We're talking about Windows 11, so I'll start again. So Windows 11, I did install it on a 500 gig um, NVMe drive. You just simply created a USB installation media drive on an 8 gig USB stick. Very easy to do. Go and Google it. It's not that hard to do. It takes about 5-10 minutes, depending on your internet speed. And the other tricky bit is turning on the TPM
Yep.
trusted platform module on X570 or uh, TFF or something like it. It's very similar on Intel. If you go on the Windows website, it will tell you what you need to switch on. You just need to look it up for your motherboard in the menu or just Google it for your motherboard and it'll tell you where it is in BIOS. But those are the two tricky bits. After that, I mucked it up. Look, I did try and put it on a portable USB. Like use my portable USB plug-in,
Yep.
but it won't do it. So you will need to install it on a physical drive that's connected directly to your motherboard. But look, I used a little bit of it. It's really funny. It did look nicer, like the screen, like just the visual picture of Windows. Like when you looked at it, it was more like it looked sharper on my screen.
Yep.
Now I don't know whether that's a setting I've buggered up here on Windows 10 or something. But look, I played I think a couple. Like I think I tried to play a couple of simple games and got a bit hard. And but look, because obviously you need to reinstall a Steam library and this and anyway. So my advice is look, if you want to have a crack at it, do it. Back up your data. Do it on a fresh drive, so you don't delete your old Windows 10 just in
Yep.
case something goes wrong. And one thing I do suggest to people is have a boot drive that all it does is it has Windows. That's it. So if you have to do a fresh install of Windows or partition part of a drive that's specifically for a Windows installation, because if you do that, it then makes life easy that if you go, I'm just going to go and do a fresh install of Windows, you're only wiping out the Windows bit and then you can reconnect everything back onto your desktop and do shortcuts and all that sort of stuff. You can
Yep.
even copy the shortcuts onto a separate file and then just your desktop can be then recopied back onto that file. So onto your, there's a way to copy that. If you wanted to learn how to do that, again, Google. I'm not going to explain it because it'll just mainly go over people's head. Really, to be quite honest, it's not hard. It's just no use explaining it. You just need to go and watch a video and do it. It's pretty simple to do. But yeah, but I don't know. I didn't have any issues installing, or like I installed NVIDIA GeForce, no problem. I updated my drivers, no problem. Just for shits and giggles, I actually did run. Um, oh, I did run a benchmark for my 5950X, and there's been a lot of talk of balks the performance of the. It really doesn't. It's AMD's taken 15% hit on
Yep.
performance. Well, let me bring that. Take that out of there. Bear with me. Benchmarking. Yes, here we go. 3D mark. Oh, it's not going to let me do that, is it? No, of course it's not. Oh no, it wasn't 3D Mark, was it? What was it? Flipping spuds. Was it 3D Mark? No, that was GPU. Benchmarking. Can't remember. Doesn't look like don't know where I've saved item. Very quickly, if I can find it. That's interesting. Where's that drive gone? Doesn't recognize that drive here as a separate drive. The Windows 11 drive doesn't get recognized on load up Windows 10. So it doesn't recognize as a separate drive for some reason. So anyway, I'm not sure. Basically, I think the highest score I had about was 17,000 on Cinebench.
Oh,
It went to 19, just shy of 20.
geez.
And I'm like,
That's pretty good.
where's this performance hit again? Because I'm seeing a performance increase that's significant in keeping in mind. And this is the one thing that when people watch too many YouTube videos and they go and, install their whole system, install all their programs, and they go, okay, now I'm going to go and check out what my benchmarks are. And then they look at it and they go, oh, Gamers Nexus got like 20% more than oh, they must have won the golden lottery with their bloody chip. Oh, yeah, same with Hardware Unbox. Oh, hold on. Oh, I think I've got a dodgy chip. Oh, Hardware Unbox got more, and so did Tech Your City. And what happened? Oh, I must have a dud chip. No, you don't. What the issue is they're running it on usually a very stripped down version of Windows. And what happens is that stripped down version takes up less system resources. So what happens? Bang. It runs significantly faster because all they're running there's no background program. So just to give people an idea, just my system. So I've got Norton, got something called EZ Update, which I think is an ASUS thing. I have got Chrome in the background. I've got some AI suite. I've got Google G Hub. I've got Qi charging. I've got Steam, Windows Security, Zoom, Razer Central. I don't know why that's running, but I'll turn that off. Some other, I'll turn that off too. Some Sonic thing. Discord's running in the background. NVIDIA GeForce, Backblaze, which is my backup utility, and MSI Center.
Yep.
Right. So about 10 odd programs. Now, some people might have more. So some people will set up their PC that Origin boots up, Steam boots up, Rocksteady boots up, like all their launchers boot up. So if they want to play a game, click, they play they go into whatever launcher in that menu and off they go. But that all takes system resource. So when you run a benchmark, all those things running, of course it's not, it's like putting 5 passengers in a performance car down the quarter mile.
Yep.
You might go, oh, it's not that much. It's only like 5 guys in there. It's a 1,000 horsepower car. And you go, yeah, that's cool. But then all of a sudden, you take out 4 people. You suddenly go, oh, I need to remove the seats. I'll have 1 seat, just the driver's seat. I'll put a lightweight roll cage. I'll put a carbon fiber bonnet. And all of a sudden, you go from running a 9-second quarter mile every time to all of a sudden it's 8.5, and you go, wow, I just shaved half a second off. And that's where the difference is.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. your Windows startup gets bloated, and that's why sometimes a lot of people will go, "Oh man, I've got an SSD, but I think my computer's a dud. I think I need to upgrade. I need to. Oh, it's just too slow." Or they'll be even worse, running on an old mechanical drive. And you look at the mechanical drive, and you go, "Dude, your drive's like 90% full, man." And they're like, "Oh, dude, yeah, can be either or." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, well, what's the big deal there?" It's like, mate, it's got so many files on there that by the time your computer takes ages to boot up because it's trying to, especially if it's like an old hard disk and hasn't been defragmented. So, it's having to zoom, the needles on the platters going all over the place to try and find fragments of files that have been stored all over the joint.
Yep.
Because, you installed Steam on day one and you've installed Origin on day 2000 of owning the PC. But they both have to start up on startup, so they're in completely different locations on the hard drive. It slows the system down.
Yep.
And then you just go, "Let me install an SSD for you," and then people go, "Oh my god, what did you do to my PC?" Like, "I installed an SSD. That is it." They're like, "Oh my god, it runs so much faster." And it's like, welcome to the new world, my friend. Welcome to the world of an SSD. Yet alone if you get it, like if they've got an NVMe slot or something.
Yep.
Look, NVMe to SSD is not a really big difference. The big difference is when you go from hard drive to SSD. Hold on a second. Sorry, I think I'm hearing crying in the background.
Oh no.
I think a child who's deciding is no, we'll have a tanty right now.
I'm not ready for bed.
Look, but the problem is then in the morning you just go, "Come on, mate, time to get ready for school."
And then there's another. Yeah.
I'm like, "Bullshit, you're tired. You can come in at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday and talk our ear off because we want to sleep in, but during the week when you got to go to school, I'm tired. I'm gonna go bullshit." But so that's Windows 11. Yeah. So have a crack, people. If you like, if you need help, just reach out. And if you get stuck or anything, and I'm happy to give you some generic advice that hopefully helps you. If not, YouTube is your friend. There's plenty of tutorials on how to do it out there, and step-by-step guides. And my advice is always try follow them because people have gone to the effort to make them. Support those creators; they deserve to be supported. They put the effort and the time, and the only way they can keep making those type of videos where you learn is supporting that creator, doing a like, placing a comment. Hint, hint. But that's about it. But mate, the next one is all yours, mate. Crypto update. What's happening? Crypto stunks.
Well, crypto is actually looking pretty good these days. Bitcoin's hit an all-time high this in the past week. I think got it to about 85,000.
Yeah, there was a massive bounce.
Yep. Shiba went up. I think we spoke about that last week. Ethereum went up too. Got close to 5,500. Polygon's sitting around over the $2 mark, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the main ones. With us being in NFTs and play to earn racing and whatnot, we got a few chickens. We got bit of this, bit of that. There is a new one coming out actually that I've found. NFT Champions.
Ooh, what's that about?
It's similar to Pokemon by the look of it.
Okay.
I just sent you the link, and I'll get it up on the stream here. Welcome to NFT Champions. The next big thing, NFT MMORPG. What's that? Massive multiplayer online role-play game. So it's going to have epic online battles. I think you can be 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. Oh no, battles can be 1v1 or 3v3. Now I'm not sure you have to own all three of them, or you could have you and two mates be able to play it. But yeah, It's got a bit of footage there of the gameplay, but I think once they sell a few,
Yeah, yeah.
our players can also do wager NFTs in 1v1 or 2v2 online matches.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in 2 days they got the initial, what's it called, IDO, initial drop offering, which I think is the coin, which is their champ coin. But
Yeah.
it's run on Unreal Engines. It's going to be run on the Polygon blockchain, and they've got the easy anti cheat, which is the same as what Fortnite has. And
Okay,
it's got,
so people
yeah,
can't rig it. Yep.
yeah. So it should be pretty good. Hopefully, it's looking pretty good. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next few weeks.
Okay, mate. Can I? Sorry to do this. I'm going to be back in a second because I
Okay.
can see I can hear some drama in the background. Bear with me, mate, and I'll be back if you want to keep telling people maybe about this NFT because it sounds pretty interesting.
It is a little
And
bit
maybe if
interesting.
there's a couple others you want to mention, but I will be back in a minute. One second.
Okay, too easy.
Sorry, everyone.
Just get the chat up now. Make sure I'm not missing anything. If you're following on the Flippin' Spuds, make sure you check out HyPECA. That's at HYPEECA. That's on Twitter and Facebook. We used to be on Twitch, but we've made the switch to Facebook, make it a bit more convenient. Might go over to YouTube soon, try that out. But Facebook's been pretty friendly to us. You can have a look at the white paper here. We can go through the white paper. Key mechanics: play to earn system, win tournament and online player v player matches for cash rewards, beat players in online raid events and get exotic drops. Ooh. Buy and hold land or NFTs to get passive rewards. Train and evolve NFTs to increase their resale value. Buy and trade rare NFTs. Public IDO, October 21st. Early access will be released, blah, blah, blah. But it's looking pretty interesting. Thanks for Taylor Speechley for giving us out the link. And I think Todd bring it to our attention again today. Missed the private round. I think the private round, was on October 1st to the 15th. Could have got it for 0.07 cents. 0.7 cents, 75 cents. So now it's going to be 1 cent. This is US dollars too, by the way. If you else you want to have a look. Just been teeing up some races. We race NFTs as well. This is our stable. So our horses. Just having a look. Probably sell Mud Button. Might sell Purple. We'll put up for sale anyway. This is how we do it on OpenSea. So this is Purple. We get up on the thing. Purple. We paid 0.0332 ETH. So what we'll do is we sell her for 0.07. That way we doubled our money. Let's put it on for 0.08. See what happens. Cheers. What is she? Oh, she's a filly. Oh, she's probably ready to breed. Yeah, let's put it up for a little bit more. You know what we should do? Get up Hawkue. Have a look around.
Alrighty.
Oh, he's back.
Yes. Yes, I am back.
Just telling all the viewers a little bit about Stead Run. Just going for a little few of the horses while we were there.
Yeah, we've hopefully we've got a couple of decent horses. Have we heard anything more from our D race mates or?
I haven't. They're still dropping horses and dropping stuff like that. We're just putting a few horses up for sale. See if we can make some money.
Oh, from our Z run.
Yep, we've got a few horses just sitting there doing nothing. We'll see what the market's worth for them.
Okay. Well, that'll be
And so-
interesting. Yeah, sort of obviously, if anyone's really interested in a lot more detail on that, yeah, join us on Thursday nights where we talk about the NFTs and the various things we're looking to invest in. And
Yeah, I was about to say tomorrow night, but no, it was last week we did on a Wednesday night.
we did do it last week on a Wednesday, and that's why I just for that split second I paused just to be like, no, it's Thursday. It's not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I wish it was Thursday, but no. So no, tomorrow's Wednesday. But yeah, it's certainly worth popping over if you're interested in NFTs
Yep.
because there's some yeah, we've got some all sorts of stuff that the guys talk about. We've got people like Backpack Benry and Soul and a couple of other boys on there, and the big thicky who come on, and that they share some of the knowledge that they've got and some of the stuff they've looked at and where they've made successes. And
Yep.
so it's certainly worth coming around. We're not the Warren Buffetts of the world, but we're certainly we did okay. We're certainly crap at horse racing, that's for sure. Which again we'll talk about on the show. I think on the other show a bit more, but yeah, let's just say we're doing well until the last two races.
Yep.
And then it all went very, very south, very, very quickly. So anyway, but not to me, it was a bit of fun and it was good time. I think it was you and Paul Benry were probably all raced out by the end of the day.
Yeah, we were a bit. Yeah.
Too much of a good thing.
It was. We're doing. Yeah, we did it well at the first start, and then we decided we'll put it all on the line in the last couple of races and lost it all.
Yeah, yeah, but that's all right. We all agreed to that. We're all adults. Yep. We all said, "Yep, do it, boys." And let's be honest. A couple of them only missed by a nose.
Yeah, that's true.
And had they gone the other way, well, shit, we would have been up a considerable amount of money too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how it goes. That's the thing. I don't think anyone invested any more than they could afford on the day. And
yep.
Like I said, if it that day we didn't go our way, but look, I had a mate of mine who went in on a pretty long shot quaddie in a punters club and come out 4 or 5 G's later in his pocket.
Well, that's good.
Paid off,
Yeah.
You hit it. But he always bets like this time of year. Like he says to his wife, he doesn't bet the whole year.
Yep.
But spring carnival, his wife accepts that. Yep, that's his thing, and that he'll bet for the whole spring carnival, all the main days, and you'll see he'll stop. He'll drop not a massive amount of money, but usually he comes out. I think he usually either breaks even or comes out sort of ahead. Rarely, I haven't spoken to him where he's ever said, "Oh, look, I've come behind," and he's not the type of guy who'd come behind and go, "Yeah, I made money," only tell you about the wins, like because he just, like he doesn't do it often enough that he'll just go, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't." Like the other night, we were doing that thing after the stream where I was betting on those dogs.
Yep.
And I was $75 up, and I should have just left. I mean, like, wow, that was $25 I just made on something I fucking know nothing about. Zero knowledge about greyhounds. I was just playing percentages, really. That's all I was doing. And I mean, look, in the end, I still came out. I think I came out like $10 ahead or something. But who cares? It was a bit of it's a bit of fun. But I always say with anything in life, you do anything in excess, and it's harmful, especially when something that costs you money. I mean, even well, we do. You love your PC hardware, you love your games and all that. But if you spend every cent you have on that, or every cent you have on streaming, well, and it's not making you money.
Yep.
You need to have a look at, well, is there better ways for me to spend my time? Rather than streaming 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, and getting nothing for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a bit surprised because I did read the story that on during the week that Bitcoin, it made a massive comeback, huge run.
Yeah, it's been doing really good. You got up to almost $85,000, which is Australian dollars,
So,
which is the highest it's ever been.
so is that because there was talk about the fact that it was because there was going to be some sort of American sort of coin or something launched, or
I'm not
there was a
sure.
reason, but I can't remember the story now. But for the life of me, but yeah, there's been some decent reasons why. What about from a mining perspective? Because I think a lot of people get confused that if the price of Bitcoin goes up, well, that means that mining profits go up. But that's
Yep.
not always the case. Mining profits kind of go up and down at a little bit more of a steady rate. They don't make, sharp, like all of a sudden, one day you're making $50 a day and the next day you're making $20 a day.
Yeah.
So have you mined much this week or?
Yeah, just bit of Raven coin. It's boosted up the past few days. Usually, when we first started, when it was worth about 8 cents, we were getting probably 120 to 140 a day, and then when it went up to around 14 cents, it sort of halved to about 60. But yeah, over the last couple of like probably the past week, I'm getting around 70 to 80 coins a day, which has been good. Just mining the Raven coin.
So remind me again, what's Ravencoin sitting on at the moment?
It's around 15 cents at the moment. Like it has seen highs at about 33 cents. So I think like if we sold it out today, I think we're making probably $12 a day. And I think it costs. I think it costs what's it like $3 a day to run or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you'll make $12 minus your three.
So it's nine
Nine
dollars a day. So
bucks. Yeah.
yep.
So $9 a day you're making.
Yeah, and we've been running it since February too. So, and we haven't sold anything yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not running 24/7 either.
No, it is.
Oh, it is running 24/7.
Yep.
Wow,
Sitting in the garage, just cruising away.
And are you finding temps are okay and they're not
Yeah, temps are temps are good. Yeah, no, they haven't had any problems yet. But it has been winter too, so it has been a lot
I was
cooler.
going to say it has been cold,
yeah.
so
So I've got a few like desktop fans there. Once summer kicks in, see how we go. Yeah, we'll see.
difference.
No.
Is that like the heat just like after a couple of days in a garage because there's no insulation.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, you want to see just on a side note a garage that you just go, I so wish I could build that. Check out Hardware Unbox's latest video by Steve. Oh my god, his new desk is just freaking epic. Like I've watched a couple of videos where he shows you how he's made it and just the amount of thought put into it and the practicality for what he does. But I'm telling you now, 2022, I think we're going to see a massive increase from Hardware Unboxed and how much content they make.
Yeah.
I think Steve's got a lot of ideas of what he wants to do. I think they're going to be. I actually think they're going to be as big, if not bigger, than Gamers Nexus.
Oh.
I reckon they're gonna get up on par with them because they're so well respected for what they do when it comes to testing GPUs and CPUs and all that sort of stuff, like really thorough testing. Whereas I think the danger Gamers Nexus has is it I think is really starting to take itself seriously. In the sense, and I don't say that disparagingly or anything, like to disrespect them, but I think they're really starting to get to that real niche, like really specialized stuff. Like I've watched, like I love my tech videos, but there's some stuff I watch of Steve's and I'm like, oh man, that is just way above my head.
Yeah.
Like from an engineering perspective, like they're like almost talking at times at an engineering level on some of this stuff, and just the way they explain it, and it just goes. Some of it goes over my. But I think they're the industry standard for if you want to know, is a case efficient? Is it a good case to build a system in? They'll tell you. Is it a good graphics card? They will tell you. Is it a good power supply? They will tell you. And they're getting a fan machine where they're going to test fans
Oh.
and how efficient they are and how well they run and how much power they consume and all this stuff. So they've got a very specialized machine. They've already got a machine that tests like airflow through cases, and they've already got like a CPU cooler setup that they spent a significant amount of money on. So if you want to know, is this CPU cooler the best? Mate, everyone knows you go to Gamers Nexus. Yeah, it'll be in depth. Yeah, some of it will be really dry, but at the end of it, he's going to say to you, that is great or that is shit. And if he says it's good, you know it's based on fact, on proper independent testing. But I think where Hardware Box will be different is they have a lot more. I think Steve and Tim have more variety of content.
Yeah.
I think than what Gamers Nexus will. I think Gamers Nexus is starting to go into a very specific testing niche. Like they're the guys. If you want to know whether I should buy a product or not, I'll go there. Whereas I think Hardware Unbox will be, they'll do more broad testing. Like they'll do more tests, like a wider scope of testing that most, like your average Joe will be able to watch and go, I understand that, I get that. Oh wow, yeah. What does Steve think of this GPU? Oh wow, it's good. Or oh wow, like they did it's interesting. All the YouTubers have done 6600 AMD GPUs, which launched, and as far as I can tell, they're pretty easily available.
Yep.
The reviews went pretty for AMD. They were pretty brutal. Saying, yeah, they're available, but like you really have to have a really old card. And I think the use case scenario for that is if your GPU shits itself and you're like, oh, what do I buy? You'd probably buy that. You'd buy 6600.
Yep.
It's not even. It's not the. And people need to get in mind. It's not the 6600 XT. It's the 6600. And basically the price difference between two is the difference in performance. And I think the price difference is only $50 to $100. So
yep.
Whether you think that's worth going, you know what, $100. So you know what, 6600, mate. Like I said, makes sense if you're like going shit. You know what, I'm gonna wait 12 months. Wait for the next stuff to come out. That 6600 will do me for now. And I'll just then keep it or pass it on to someone. And you know what? I'll lose maybe $100, $150 versus a 3080 where you might lose $500. Like at the moment, if you bought a 3080 Ti at $2.5 grand,
yep,
and suddenly the value of that, when the value of those, and not if, but when the value of those drops significantly, you're losing $1,000.
Yep.
So it's the percentage game. Well, not the percentage game, but the money game. It's what am I going to lose less physical cash on? You're going to lose less on the lower end stuff than you are on the higher end stuff at the moment.
Yep.
For sure. Speaking of launches and stuff like that, AMD and Intel are both obviously talking about their new products coming up. AMD did a video on some of the new stuff coming out, and I listened to Moore's Law. He does some great content. If people really want to know what's happening or what potentially is happening in that industry, very strong opinioned, and doesn't mess around with, very blunt, but he's very good. Like he knows his stuff, and he's not silly. He knows the stuff that he's spoken about for months, and a lot of I think he's developed some really good industry sources because the way he reports it is factual without revealing who his sources are, and I think he's won favor with some of the companies. So he's got both sources at Intel and AMD. from an AMD perspective, I think one of the more exciting things is what they're talking about is 3D cache. So what that means for us gamers is that the CPU, that games can use that CPU. It doesn't have to go through the physical cores as much. It can shove in stuff in the memory, in the cache,
Yep.
and run the game through that. So the more of the game you can store on that without having to use the cores to retrieve it or your SSD, like that's the quickest way. It's like effectively playing a game on your CPU.
Yep.
But that's just obviously the data and the rendering. Obviously, GPU does a lot of heavy lifting because it's got to render the frames and all that. But the CPU, it just, especially, it just means that like loading files, especially big game files, becomes a bit quicker. System becomes a bit snappier. You might not. It's going to be interesting to see the performance difference. They're saying the biggest, everything I'm reading is the biggest difference is going to be to gaming.
Yep.
From an Intel perspective, and AMD's confirmed there's one more AM4 chip coming. So before the big AM5. Now, for those who don't know, AM5 will be there will be definitely a change in the motherboard socket. So we'll go from AM4 to AM5 socket, and DDR5 will be introduced as well. Now, I think Intel looks like with Alder Lake, which will launch sooner than the AM5 platform, will have DDR5 memory on it. So reading some of the launch stuff for DDR5, I think the speeds are just going to be mind blowing. Like we're talking DDR5. We talk about there's like at the moment I think they top out at about 5,000 megahertz. That like you get the 3200 or 3600 or I think it tops out at 5,000. Get that off there. Where are we? DDR4 max speed. Here we go. Just having a look here. Doesn't tell you. DDR4 max speed on XMP.
Just having a quick look at some NFTs.
Doesn't. That's interesting. Fastest RAM speed. Here we go. And there we go. Okay. So 5,333 megahertz is the fastest one you can buy at the moment. Really expensive. Like you're talking $1,245. 99.99999% of people don't need that. That's just flex. And then there's 5,000's I think the most practical one I've seen. Okay, so give you an example. Average 3200 or 3200 kit on AMD or Intel, they can run on AMD or Intel. 220, 230, I've seen it lately. obviously with DDR5 launching, I think we're going to start, especially around Christmas time. I think we're going to start seeing some real discounting, where they're going to just want to offload all that DDR4 RAM because I don't know. Maybe they'll wait till next year, possibly. But I think there'll be some heavily. I'm already seeing some discounting on DDR. Like I think I saw, for example, $389 for 64 gig of RAM of Trident Z, like very similar to the one RAM I've got in my Intel system. Not RGB, doesn't look cool, but it's 3200, it's 64 gig, and it's 399. 389 from PC Case Gear, and it's like shit. That's cheap. It's really cheap. If you think about it, that's under $200 for 32 gigs. That's you, and you go and buy 32 gigs. You can't at the moment buy it for under 200. I'm not that I've seen lately, but then for example, you've got G Skill 32 gig of RAM at Scorptech 489.
Oh wow.
And that's only 32 gig. That means you think about it, it's like, geez, that's almost 900. Like it's just over $900 for close to almost almost close to 1,000 for 4,000. And I promise people you will not see that difference.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing some you're making money with it. And even then, the diminishing returns. There's a ton of YouTube videos that have tested at all sorts of speeds, and everyone comes to the same conclusion. After 3,600, the price goes like that, and the performance goes like that. So you're not. So the performance doesn't increase the same way. It kind of, this is your performance improvement, and that's your price going that way. So it's not worth it. But DDR5, some of the speeds of DDR5 speeds. Where was it? Here we go. DDR specifications. Yeah. I mean, DDR5, so 3200 will do 8,400 megabits a second.
Yep.
Versus DDR4, which currently does it at 32 megabits a second. So it's well over double. So it will be very, very interesting. DDR5, I mean, they're talking about speeds going, 3,200 almost being the minimum. Whereas at the moment, you can still buy 2666, like 266 kits. But they're saying for DDR, looks like from what I'm reading here, DDR5 looks like you're pretty much going to be 3,200 will be your bare minimum. Will be your slowest speed, with up to 6,400.
Yep.
So, but it's all going to depend on what the chips can do, what Windows can do. Windows 11 is going to be able to do. And I think people have been questioning why Windows 11 now? Why have they done it now? And I think it's in preparation, to be quite honest, for Windows to be able to cope with these faster DDR5 RAM, these new big core, little core chips from Alder Lake from Intel, because that's what they're launching. So they're going to have little cores in the background doing all the little backgroundy stuff that, like, you might want to watch a YouTube video, or you might have Discord in the background, or you might have some music playing while you're playing your favorite video game. And the big cores will be doing the heavy lifting of the game. The game and the GPU. So effectively, you'll get better performance in games, and lower temperatures, and that means you can boost the clocks higher, because that's what effectively that's what limits a chip from going to instead of going to 5 gigahertz to going to 50 gigahertz
Yeah.
is heat, because the more voltage you pump into it to get to that higher speed, the hotter that chip gets. So the idea is with more efficient cores in the chip, that chip should be able to boost at higher clocks and therefore allow the system to leverage that to be able to do tasks faster. So whereas where it might not, and nobody knows yet because obviously they haven't been released, where that may be a disadvantage is if you're video editing for a living. So you might, like Intel might come out and go, our chip, our entry level i7 chip is a 16 core 32 thread chip, or it's a 16 core 16 little core 16 big core chip.
Yep.
Right, with 32 threads, so 16, 16, 32. But AMD come out and say, well, we're not doing that. Ours is our new minimum chip is 32 cores, 64 threads, like the 5950X, and they just go, and it'll run at 5 gigahertz. And you know what? It's twice as fast as what Intel does, because the little cores can't do any heavy lifting because you've wasted space on the die.
Yeah.
Now, other side of that argument could be that, oh shit, hold on, the AMD chips run shit hot, like they run really hot, but they're on 7 nanometer. Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, all. Let me just have a quick look. Intel, all the yep. Yeah, so they're going to have. Ooh, here we go. 22 hours ago. That happened. Intel officially launches 12th Gen Alder Lake unlocked desktop CPUs and Z690 motherboards on the 4th of November. There you go, guys. Not very long to wait at all.
No.
And I'm pretty sure most of the YouTubers like Hardware Unbox, Gamers Nexus, Jay's 2 Cents, all those guys will already have, and they'll be unveiling next week, the 27th. So next week's show will probably be, not quite, it'll be just after next week's show. But yeah, they've already talked about some of this. So, yep. So here we go. Yeah, and we'll also receive scheduling and core optimizations within Windows 11. So there you go. Very clearly, we all now know why Windows 11 got launched, and that is because Intel's doing their thing. Now, AMD's been kicking Intel's butt.
Yeah.
Intel's still got a big checkbook. Hey, Microsoft. How much? Microsoft's gone, I don't know, put about 7 or 8 zeros at the end of it. And they've gone, sure, here you go. The only discussion would be what's the first number. After that, it's just how many zeros are after it. That's it. So this is from WCCF Tech. Just give them credit where credit's due. So there we go. Yeah, and they'll have overclocking abilities. We'll be able to, yeah, and you'll be able to buy the Z690 boards on the day. But they reckon DDR5 memory kits will be available slightly sooner. Okay, here we go. So they've fixed their 4.0 PCIe lane issue. So they'll have, okay, so there'll be boards with Wi-Fi 6, SATA 3.0, so dual rank memory, DDR5 up to 4800, DDR4 up to 3200 support. So I'm going to wonder whether they're going to do those hybrid boards.
Yep.
because they did do it. I remember back in my day. I remember we went for DDR2 to DDR3. I remember the boards. There was a period of time where you could buy a board that supported both. So I'd be very surprised if they kind of don't do that. So there we go. So Intel's going to do a 16 core, 24 thread chip. So that 16 core though, here we go. I was spot on. 8 of those cores will be Golden Cove cores,
Yep.
big, and 8 will be Gracemont scores, little, and then be 24 threads. So the P cores will operate a maximum boost frequency of 5.3 gigahertz with 1 to 2 active cores and 5 gigahertz on all core actives with E cores. Gracemont.
Yep.
Will operate at 3.9 gigahertz across 1.1 to 4 or 3.7. So the CPU will feature 30 megabytes of L3 cache. Wow, that's still way behind AMD. I'm sure of that. What is it? 5950X specs. Yep. So it's got 32 megabytes of, and what did we say that Intel's got? 30. And I think what will happen is we will see that 3D stacking from AMD that'll trump that. But yeah, it'll be really interesting. I think there's some great times coming up for CPUs. I
Yeah.
think this will be brilliant. I think competition will be red hot. I think the GPU market, it's all doom and gloom at the moment. But I promise you guys, everyone, give it to, give it next year, mid next year. I reckon Intel would have released their first GPU, and I reckon it'll be okay, but it'll be a shot across the bow
Yep.
to the other two, to AMD and to Nvidia. The second generation, and I reckon which will be the year after, unless Nvidia and Intel pull their fingers out and take them seriously, watch out. And AMD's got Nvidia's number at the moment. Like, yeah, there's a lot of talk about driver issues and games, but you see a lot of tech tubers and they go, look, we do a lot of testing with AMD and we're not seeing these issues that people are alleging are happening on AMD. So, look, I would love to be able to figure out a way I could actually. My wife would say con. I would say gentle persuasion to buy a 6800 XT or a 6900 XT,
Yep.
just to see is there really a difference in real life gaming? Because there was a great video, a really good video from Hardware Unbox by Tim from Hardware Unbox, going, do you really need the latest and greatest graphics card? And playing games on medium settings to ultra. And on so many games, they were like going, some of them you get away with medium. There was, I think it was like something like Cyberpunk. I think it was one of the very few where they said, yeah, look, you can tell the difference between ultra and high. But for most of the other games, they're like, we can't tell the difference between ultra and high. And like COD is a good example. I think they had like anything that's, I think, fast-paced shooters. I don't think you have to, I think, I mean, Fortnite's a classic example, isn't it? Of competitive people talking about competitive settings. Well, it doesn't
Yeah.
look pretty, but it allows you to win games and get really
Yeah.
high frame rates. I don't know. Do you play that way, or do you just leave it alone?
I just leave it alone. I just play on the PS4 mainly on
Okay.
Fortnite. Yep. And so me and the girls sit in the lounge and play it. We can hand the controller. So we play one round each, and then I give it to Ava, and then she'll give it back. Addie sort of, she might have a go every now and then, but she's not that interested. She'd rather sit just chill with us with it on her iPad.
I'm with Team Addy.
Yeah,
The whole building thing just nah,
I
just
know. That's
breaks
the
my
hardest
brain.
part.
That's
But
breaks my brain.
I just like it's the cartoon part, and you're mainly versing kids, so you just jump around, you just jump at the come to each other, and when they don't build, you're like, sweet, this is someone that doesn't build, so we're just sort of jumping around trying to shotgun each other without, yeah,
Building anything, yeah.
yeah,
No, I remember. Yeah, I've watched so many YouTube videos, and I find it hilariously funny when someone like a ninja or one of those real like even I mean Tim the Tap Man and a lot of those guys that are now playing really big, really big in COD used to be massive in Fortnite. Even Dr. Disrespect used to be
yeah.
massive in Fortnite.
Well, I'm looking at like all the Halloween updates coming out for like Fortnite and Warzone, and that looks kind of fun. So
Hmm.
might have to play it over the next coming weeks.
Oh my god! Speaking of COD, I saw I felt so much better. Terrible thing to say, but I did feel so much better. So Doctor Disrespect is playing this game, and he's getting right at the end of Warzone, and
Yep.
he's like on point. He's like on fire. Like he's sniping really well. He's got his eye in. You can tell like he's just dialed in. Like he's having a good game.
Yep.
Tim's having average game, and in the end, just like Doc, it's all on you, man. He goes, I'm done. I'm not coming back. I'm just gonna watch this, and just the sniping was just a masterclass. All of a sudden, game freezes.
Oh.
Dev error. I'm like, oh my god, it is the piece of shit for everyone. Because I've had it happen. I'm like, it's just terrible. I think Activision have really lost interest in developing that.
Yeah.
Like Modern Warfare, and it's such a shame because it's such a good game, and there's so many people who still love playing it. So, and I've never been into Warzone, just never got into it. I like I said, I've really got to give like Plunder or the ones where you can respawn.
Yeah. Yep.
I've really got to give them a go because I think I'll enjoy them more than, and that might mean I develop better play skills at within those that allow me then to maybe enjoy Warzone a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, but the anti cheat will be interesting. The new anti cheat they've brought out. But yeah, there was a story that come out saying that the anti cheat for COD has already been leaked, the code.
Yep.
But there was some suggestion that it was false code. It was bullshit code.
Oh, okay.
Deliberately leaked. So all these people who are like developing these cheats for these games, were going to be caught on the back foot, and they actually weren't going to like they'll lose all their customers. I think the idea was they give these cheats and then people come back and go, man, your cheats are shit. They don't work. I want my money back, and drive these guys out of business. Not a bad. If I was a business and I was Activision, that's actually not a bad strategy.
Yep.
Because why am I going to go? Oh no, we figured it out now. Give us some more money. No, mate, you can get stuffed. Or here's a patch. No, mate. Well, like I said, it. I just don't understand people cheating in games, man. I really don't. Like, it's meant to be fun.
Yeah, I know.
But I think it also highlights that if you don't get your matchmaking right, that's what people end up doing. Going, well, screw it. You're not doing your matchmaking right. I'm playing up against Dr. Disrespect, mate. And let's be honest, mate, I can barely beat a 10-year-old. Mate, I'm not going to play that game. I'm not going to enjoy it. Like, I don't find it enjoyable being in a game where I'm constantly dying and I've got no chance of, like actually, the enjoyment is actually achieving something in a game.
Yeah.
So I did finish Outriders. the whole story,
That's good.
and I really enjoyed it. Like, there's some more missions that you can do, but I want to go back and finish some of the older missions, and like that on the game where I can crank up the level to like world tier 10, because the early missions, the enemies are really weak.
Yep.
So you can actually crank it right up and actually get yourself some good weapons. So then when you go get the drops from the sky, you can actually have some good weapons to actually keep advancing in the game. So
Yep.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was good fun. It was a great story. It had me captivated the whole time. But I have started playing Fallout Las Vegas. Wow,
Yeah.
oh, does it melt hours? Oh my god! Like I'll get on it like I don't know, 8:30 or 8 quarter past 8, and next thing I know, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what do you mean it's fucking 11:30? What the hell? Where did that time go? It was like far out. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I enjoy that genre of game. Like it's a bit old schooly, and like compared when you compare it to something like Outriders, look, it's pretty outdated. But I mean, take a look at that game. I think it's about 10 years old now. But
Yep.
I love that series, and that's why I was so heartbroken when Fallout 76 came out. And it was so shit. And like they said, oh, there's no story to it. You just wander around the wasteland and do missions, and made it like like I guess like a Escape from Tarkov or Rust. And I'm like, what? No, no, that's not what I play that game for. I play the game for the story, and I think there's a reason why there hasn't been another Fallout game, because I think those guys realized that that's not what people wanted, and it never recovered from the day one. Like Cyberpunk, it didn't ever like apparently got bucket loads better, but it never recovered from a really poor launch.
Yep.
So, now what is on our next topic? Because I'm just mindful, bloody hell, time's gotten away from us. So speaking of games, now did you see there was a new mode for 2040 Battlefield 2042? There's been a couple of videos that have come out. I will send you this link. Where are you? There we go. Yep. There's the link, mate.
Extended Gods Unchained this time.
Oh, did I put it in God's Unchained? Did I?
That's okay. I've got it. I've got it from your notes anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to put that in, yeah. So basically, that's wow. Can you just do me a favor? Can you go into YouTube? Sorry, never mind. I will go into YouTube. And let me see if I am on there, because I am a bit of a concerned. It wasn't on there. So, show more. Yep, the flipping spuds. There we are. We're live. Let me just make sure. Can you just do me a favor? Can you? Never mind. No. We're okay. We're all good. We're up. Just OBS isn't playing. Not OBS. For some reason, something else wasn't playing nicely. The OBS studio wasn't playing nicely. The YouTube studio wasn't playing nicely. But anyway, it's all good. Yep, there we go. We're even there. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. But yeah, Hazard Zone was a new is a new gaming. That's a new mode.
Yep.
English. Mode in in Battlefield that they showed. So that looked interesting. So it was, I think, on PC and current console gens. So Xbox X, Xbox S, and PC. It could be up to 64. And the idea is satellites from the sky. They have so there's data packets that are on the map, and you need to run around trying to find them. And as you get better at the game, you earn points, and as you earn points, you end up having to you can upscale gear before you start the match. And it's a combination of fighting against other players. And I
Yep.
thought this was really interesting, or AIs. So you don't know whether you're getting shot by a real person or a computer. So the more of and you get, and there's certain points in the game you get to extract during that period. So it's yeah, it looks interesting, and it talks about specialists and having different specialists on the team, and how that can affect whether you can win a match or not. And it'll be like, well, what's the perfect meta? What specialists do you need, and which ones are good, which ones are what combinations work really well. Because some will be a weapon specialist, some will be a there'll be an aggressive team, there'll be a
Yep.
defensive team. So it'll be really interesting to see. It looked good. It looked really interesting. I know there's been a lot of talk about the beta was probably really worrying, but until the game comes out, I think it's going to be very hard. And we see the whole game. I think it's very hard to judge.
Yep.
I mean, what I'm seeing is it looks positive, but if I've learnt anything from our mates over at Activision, slick marketing can make any game look good. Doesn't mean it is. So we'll have to wait and see what Dice brings out. But look, I think they're genuinely passionate about their game, and I think they genuinely want it to succeed. And we'll see what happens.
Yep.
We'll see how it plays out in the end, and go from there. Speaking of Battlefield 2042,
Yes.
come and follow us on the tweets, on the Twitter, both ECA and the Flippin' Spuds. All we ask is you follow us, you tweet at us, you share it. Tell me if I'm saying anything wrong. We'd love for you to come and like and subscribe to the channels. It costs you nothing. Click a button. Come and watch us once in a while. Come and comment on us. So we're not asking a lot. Probably about 3 minutes of your time. And as part of that, to try and encourage people to do that a bit more often, and to thank everyone who so far has done that. I have seen Flipping Spuds, slowly we're getting more and more followers, and that's fantastic. And I want to thank those people out there for that. And let's hope that once you get your Battlefield, things like Battlefield and other giveaways are only I guess over time are possible, because if you guys support the channels and the channels grow, then the cool stuff we can give away gets better and better. And part of that is because the channels might start earning some money, and we can give that back to the community. But the other thing is, we can start then talking to brands and saying, hey guys, look, we've got this YouTube channel, we've got this great community. We really want to give back to them. Would you be interested? This is how many viewers we got. We'd love to do a giveaway through Gleam. Any chance we can, grab a case from you? And they might go, okay, we'll go check out your channel. And they go, oh yeah, these guys are engaging. People are talking to them. Great. They're watching the show. Well, yeah, all right. You know what? It's just a case. Yeah, sure, why not? We'll send you a case. Here you go, fellas. And and that's how it all starts.
Yep.
Start little. And to be honest, the only reason we do this is just share knowledge, and we've got no illusions of grandeur, have we? We're not going to be the next Hardware Unbox guys. We're not going to be the next Jay's 2 cents. That's not who we are. Like, we've got a real life, so this is a hobby for us. It's just a matter of, if we can do this successfully enough and keep it interesting, and you guys like watching it, this means we can give you guys some stuff back to thank you for doing that.
and it helps pump up a few of our other avenues, like the Stingray Dog with our horse rate, like NFT horse racing, and
Yep,
yeah,
yep, yep.
just getting a few beers on a Thursday night, watching some digital horse racing, and waiting for the chicken derby to start, and plus all these other little NFT projects that are coming up. I think we got some Vikings and some NFT legends, and maybe soon some NFT champions.
Yep, and you know, if you want to come and watch, you know, poor Roachy get offended every time he comes on there and a horse comes seventh, and have a good giggle, please come along. I promise you, you won't be disappointed because he will lose his shit every time a horse comes seventh, and we go, oh, Roachy's here today. I think we get very quickly and bluntly told what he thinks of that.
We do.
But the good thing is he has been on the last couple of weeks, and we actually have one. I think we've won a few races, and we, well, Diablo Rosso didn't do well on the last race, but up until that point, what got a couple.
Yeah, well, he's had 5 races, and two of them were second, so that's a pretty good strike rate.
Yep. So hopefully, good old Diablo Rosso does a little bit better again. You know.
Well, yeah. Well, I think he's only had 4, so he's got one more race to go, and then I think I've got some blackness races lined up, and I think tonight I got Elmer Stud put in the Griffin race as well, and then I've got General Golden One going in a few of those tournament races. So they're free to enter. I think it just builds up your stats. So, and then yeah, once you get a certain amount of wins, you might be able to go wins. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, Alma Stud. Oh, that has got to be one of the greatest names, I think. I personally, when Roachy sent that to me and said, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's a cracker.
That's gold.
That is gold." I'm like, so anyone, you know, and when Alma Stud gets to stud, we've got to breed him. We have to breed him because you can imagine a horse is born and they're going, "Oh, they bred Alma. Oh, that horse has got to be good." Just by the name, people I reckon would buy the horse just for the dad's name because it's shits and giggles.
Yep.
But that's all I had tonight, mate. So
that's all I had too.
Yeah. Do you have anything, Dad? What are you playing What are you playing at the moment?
We got the Minecraft server working again, so I was playing a little bit of that over the weekend. Yeah, I don't know if I like watching on the TV. It's getting me. I don't know. It's running around in Minecraft on the TV. I don't know if I got the sensitivity up too high, but I was getting a bit of motion sickness playing it. I was like, geez.
Really?
Yeah, getting a bit of a headache watching it, twisting around that. So I might have to turn the sensitivity down. I'm not sure. Or if it's, just used to sitting so far away from the TV and looking around the TV.
So you're not playing on PC, you're playing it on PlayStation?
Yeah. It's just I'm just not like cooped up in the room. I'm sort of out with everyone, hanging out with the girls on the couch, and play. Because usually when I'm gaming lately, I'll jump on for about half an hour, maybe an hour, and that's it. And then I'll jump off again, or I'll jump on for a game or two, and then able to have a game or two, and then I'll jump on for a game or two. But yeah, sort of in and out.
That's all right. That's good.
No,
that's all right. Good. Well, it's a good way, like you said, to spend with the family. And probably once. Very interesting story. So I ordered that from Amazon, an adapter for my Xbox controller, so to make it work on the Switch. And it was really interesting. It didn't. So I bought it, and I thought, oh, it's Amazon. It was the cheapest price. Never got it from the store, so it wasn't from Amazon directly. It was a store that sold through Amazon. I waited a month, I think, or just shy of. It hasn't turned up, and finally I turned around to Amazon and I just went, "Oh, I want my money back." And like within 10 minutes, they got an email back going, "Yep, refund process, thanks." But they do a weird thing with their refund, so they don't give you.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey.
That's you climbing into bed at 10 o'clock at night.
Nah, mate. It's yeah, I know. It's a bit interesting for Taz to be on board at this time of night.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, yeah, Amazon gave me back $16 back on my credit card and $10 gift card.
Oh,
Oh, I'm like, what the hell? Oh, yeah, it was. So I was like, why? Anyway, I'm like, whatever. So I ended up paying like $31 instead of 27.
yeah.
Oh no, no, Taz, what I was saying about the adapter is no, I haven't got it. I should have one by Friday, so I will let you know with the Xbox controller and that sorry and that adapter because you can play it on the Switch. So I think Taz has got a Switch, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So yeah, you can use the Xbox controller. I'll tell you, it was $31 to get it. It's got very good reviews from the company who's done it, and I should have it by Friday according to Amazon. And like I paid like $4 or $5 more. Obviously, I think that's where the shipping cost comes in because this company that sent it didn't have any tracking info. They said, "Oh, sorry, we've just sent it via normal post. We don't have tracking info." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Okay, fair enough. You know, it's like it's not $100. You know, it's not $1,000 part or something." I have got.
Maybe it's the new Amazon stuff because I remember that Australia Post isn't doing like eBay and Amazon anymore, so maybe it's their own sort of delivery service. So they got to wait for the thing to be allocated. I don't know.
Yeah, but so I'll give you an example. So I ordered. Gabe gave away some of his toys, so to his little cousin that he doesn't want to play with anymore. It's like negotiating middle. You know what it's like with kids. It's like negotiating peace in the Middle East. You
Yeah,
gotta you gotta give and take here. So I agreed to buy him he wanted a Back to the Future car. So I went and bought him one, and it was like only $30 or something. It wasn't a massive amount of money. But I ordered that, and it was meant to be a week, and it got here a day early. So I had no dramas. Yeah, these guys, yeah, it was a massive drama. So in the end, I just went give them my money back, and then I just ordered it directly from Amazon themselves, and they reckon I should have it by Friday. Knowing them, I'll probably have it by Thursday.
yeah,
I ordered coffee from New South Wales, some coffee pods. Oh, look, that took a week. They took a bit longer than they normally do, but meh, like I accept that. But I don't think they must be using Aussie Post. But if I would, my suggestion to anyone, make sure you do your Christmas shopping now because
yeah.
I read an article today. FedEx and Star Trek are going on strike. So
Nice.
yeah, that's not going to end well. No, that's not going to end well.
Not at this time of year, that's for sure.
No. Taz, what games I got? I got Vigor. One game. We've got Grid with Gabe. We've got Donkey Kong Country. We don't have a lot of games on the Switch because obviously I've just got to be a little bit careful what I get. Just because obviously Gabe's got access to the Switch. I know I can do some parental controls, but I just need to be a bit careful too. I don't want him to see me playing games on the Switch that aren't kid friendly either. So yeah, I haven't got a hell of a lot, Taz. So mate, if you got any suggestions, any games that you reckon are pretty cool, I think he's got Splatoon. He likes that one. Very quick story that my wife will hate me telling. So she turns around and she goes, and I go, oh, oh, have you heard of this show on Netflix called The Squid Game? She goes, Squid Game. Hey Gabe, isn't that the game you play on the Switch?
You're like, what?
I'm like, oh, you've done it again. No, it's not. No, it's definitely not because if he was playing that game on the Switch, trust me, he got nightmares from a book he read about a monster, yet alone watching that shit. No. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah. So Taz, mate, if you're still in chat, if you're still watching, mate, yeah, just let us know what you're playing. And any suggestions, mate, I'm happy to check out the Switch and yeah. Well, once I get my controller going, I'll actually have a bit more of a go at Vigor.
Yep.
See how that plays out. All right, mate. Well, I want to get Mario Kart. Let me tell you, mate, I have got Mario Kart. Gabe's got the Pokemon games. I'm not a fan of them. Super Smash Brothers, I reckon. Actually, you know what? I reckon that'd be good. Gabe would love that because he'd love beating his old man at it. But yeah, Mario Kart he has got. He loves Mario Kart, and he beats me fair and square too now. Turnmeister, like he knows how to use his little weapons now, like the shell and the mushroom and all. He's like bang, like laugh that. Like, shut up. Come on. I'm not playing anymore. I'm going away. But wait till I get my controller going. Then it might be time for a couple of lessons in gaming, I think. Well, I can. Because I'm sure at some stage you'll start playing games and just absolutely just demolishing me and going, Dad, do you know how to play or what? Well, it's like, shut up. But Mario Party. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check Mario Party out. Not a fan of Smash Brothers. Ooh. Interesting. Taz wasn't a fan of that.
Oh.
So anyway, mate, I don't have anything else, but
No, that's everything from me too. But you can catch us back again on Thursday night on our at Hype ECA for the Stingray Dog race night.
Mate, chuck us the link. I might pass it on someone who should be there instead of sleeping. Because when we all are multimillionaires and own, houses all over the world and Lamborghini Galados, he would have, he'll feel like he's missed out. But anyway, all right, mate. Look, that's it, mate. Everyone, thank you for watching. For the couple of people that did, appreciate you. Like I said, just don't forget to go and check us out on Twitter and try and come and grab your and do the giveaway thing. I'll actually have to have a chat to you later, and I might actually post the link back up again.
Yep.
To remind everyone on Twitter, hey, share, subscribe, do it, do all the good things that you need to do. Ooh. Before we go, Taz, what's that huge new game that you told Todd about?
That's the one I told you about tonight.
Oh, was Champion?
Yep, NFT Champions.
Ah, okay. All right, cool. All right, well, I might put the music up and say you later, alligator, to everyone, and hope you all have a lovely night. And once again, thanks for watching. Peace out, everyone.
Bye for now.